Sitaram, once more welcome to SWA DHARMA, carried exclusively on Sankhya TV on Thursdays between 6:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. SWA DHARMA, where we highlight some of the practices and principles within Sanatan Dharma, and it's always our pleasure to share with you. So today we'll begin our little discourse, and it will continue into a couple of programs on Pooja, the act of worship. What does it entail? What are the guiding lines that dictate the performance of Pooja? What should be the mental approach to Pooja? What are the preparations involved in Pooja? And trust me, it is a very simple undertaking once one establishes a degree of clarity of what one is about. So Pooja essentially consists of 16 offerings to the deity or deities, as the case may be. The main offering being prasad, where we ask God to dine. There are preparatory steps involved before beginning Pooja. We will take a look at those. And murtis and pictures are used as a focal point. This is absolutely important. Hindus are not pagans. If we head down in this country to the labor capital of Trinidad, Faizabad, and there stands a statue of the chief servant, former labor leader, Uriah Buzz Butler, and one were to walk up to that statue and desecrate it in any way, one has transgressed legally, and then it might evoke severe criticisms from those who might witness that. So the reason is being that Butler, the chief servant doesn't stand physically in the statue, is what the statue represents. And likewise, Hindus use murtis and pictures as a focal point. And it's much more than that. But we allow, as we progress in Pooja, to tell us how much more or what that picture or murti represents. The preparatory steps in Pooja. The performer of Pooja, whoever is going to do the Pooja, is first purified by the offering, by the sprinkling of water, and not only the performer of Pooja, but also what is going to be offered, prasad, etc. So in that mantra, the name Pundarikaksha is stated. And Pundarika will be the form of Bhagwan, being lotus-like, and Aksh will be the eye. So that God, that supreme being who has lotus eyes, that too has a tremendous history behind that reference. Suffice it to say, at this point in time, the pronouncing or the recitation of that name during a purificatory rites where water is sprinkled does the desired job of purifying all that is going to be offered. We are taking for the mantra Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvasthanga Topya Yaha Smrit Pundarikaksham. Smrit, remember the name Pundarikaksha, and that lends purity to it. Then there is washing of the hands and sipping of water for inner purification, because we could cleanse this body with the best of soaps, etc. But what can we do to cleanse the mind? So we lean heavily on three revered names of Bhagwan, Krishna, which it is said, when taken reverently, as you sip water 3 times, offered by the Pandito. If we are doing Puja ourselves, we put the palms of the hand like this, right on top left, and water is poured, and we sip from the hand, reciting these 3 names. And these 3 names, and we quote Devi Bhagavad, or we give a synopsis of it. Achyuta, that name of Bhagwan Krishna, takes care. It takes care of the portfolio that the pious people of the world, the sadhus, the sants, etc., they are revitalized when that name of Bhagwan is taken. For Bhagwan may not be able to come in stool avatar in a form as Krishna, as Ram, where the world recognizes him, but he is represented by the pious sages and saints, the munis and rishis, and so by the recitation of Achyuta, it energizes them. So they too, when they make the pronouncements, they too, when they awaken and continue to get the Shakti of the mantra, will keep that mantra alive in the world so that when we take the name reverently of Achyuta, we too gain that purity of mind. Keshava is that name of Bhagwan Krishna which addresses the decline of Dharma. So we too have our shortcomings, we too have our little flaws and faults from time to time. And by the recitation of that name, it brings a degree of consciousness where we don't have to sweep our flaws and faults under the carpet. We acknowledge them and do something about them. That is when the name Keshava is taken. And Madhava, whenever Dharma has reached its lowest, then he incarnates from time to time in different forms, with different names, to re-establish the world and to bring the stability of the mind of his creation. So that helps to purify the mind. We are still on preparatory rites. Then a ring, a painti, is put on as we make preparation, like a badge of honor, as we make preparation to embark on the performance of puja. Interestingly enough, the kush grass is the recommended item to make that ring. It is placed on the hand of the right hand, the ring finger of the right hand. And let's quickly examine the mantra. Om kushamule stito brahma, kushamadhya janardana, kushagre shankarodevo, triyo devo kushastate. That on a blade of kush grass, kushamule stito brahma, Brahma the creator resides at the base of a piece of kush grass. Kushamadhya janardana, Bhagwan Krishna resides at the middle of that blade of kush grass. Kushagre shankarodevo, Shankar Bhagwan resides at the tip of that kush grass. So when we make a ring with that, we have the input of these three forms of God. The form of God actually in the form of Janardana, and two of his projections, two chief projections, Brahma and Shiva, sitting on that blade grass. So obviously, when that mantra is recited, we insert the ring on the finger, then we are fortified in our endeavor to perform puja. And then continuing in preparatory rites, a raksha is tied. Raksha is tied on the hands of the male, on the right hand of the male, on the wrist of the right hand of the male. For females, married or unmarried, the raksha goes on the left wrist. This is the declaration of Yajurveda. And the mantra, it's an interesting mantra. Om yena badho bariraja danavindra mahabala. When that mantra is recited, it depicts the interaction between the great Bali, that great Dani, and Bhagwan when he came as Vamana Avatar. And there's a special connect with that mantra when a raksha is put on. That is why it gains that name, raksha, protection. And we always like to mention that if for whatever reason the raksha is going to be taken off, it should not just be disposed of. It can be tied or kept in an inconspicuous part of the vehicle. It's a protection for the vehicle. Within the home, we can tie it in an inconspicuous spot, maybe by the main doors, the main gateways, because it's not one puja we'll do in life. So we'll have a lot of rakshas in very inconspicuous spots, but they serve as protection. So continuing on the preparatory rites of puja, and though it might be a little detailed, these steps take just a couple of minutes. We highlight the main words and the mantras. Hopefully it's a work in progress that one avenue is connecting with the Vidyalaya. We do these workshops where we put handouts on the mantras so one can be self-sufficient. Not every time we can have a pandit at our disposal, we can perform our puja ourselves. So in preparation, we honor the seat which we are going to take our position. We'll be taking a position facing the east, and we sprinkle water, the recitation of a certain mantra. We honor that seat by putting a piece of kush grass. We'll come to that now. We stand on it or we sit on it, and we have flower and akshat in hand as we offer honor to that seat. Kush grass, yes. Kush grass has its insulating effect. Ideally, it should be a kush mat. Since it can't have me put kush grass, but whatever divine energy pours into us via the medium of puja, it doesn't ground off to earth. It remains with us. That's why the kush grass is used for its insulating effect. And the final preparation before the actual performance and beginning of puja is where Swasti Vachan is recited. So that this Swasti Vachan, which means literally blessed words, we might be performing a puja of Bhagwan Ganesh, whichever the deity, but we don't want to slight any of the gods. So when in all Hindu rituals, Swasti Vachan is chanted, because whatever our endeavor, we're not going to slight any gods. So in that Swasti Vachan, you'll hear part of the mantras, Om Agni Devta, Vato Devta, Surya Devta, Chandrama Devta, Vasavo Devta, Rudra Devta, Aditya Devta, covering the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, the 12 Adityas, covering all the deities. And that's just an extract of the Swasti Vachan. So it does. It takes about 2 minutes to recite, if so much. And so we don't slight the gods who may not be with particular focus in whatever ritual we are undertaking. And very, very important is Sankalp is recited by the Pandit. Sankalp is never standard because it depends on the daily positions of the grahas in the patra, the tithi, the yog, etc. So Baba will open his patra and recite. We will be holding the pan leaf with the akshat, supari, flower, coin, kush, and a bit of water. In the case of the Devis, we would, in Devtas rather, we would include doob in it. And the recitation is called the Sankalp in any ritual is mandatory because it sanctions in the celestial region that this undertaking was embarked upon. That goes on the book of Karma. And this is why we are talking about restarpening or reconsecrating a murti or picture that we have at home. Baba will tell you, we'll do a sankalpana, avahan and matter fix. And the last, now we offer prayer to Bhagwan Ganesh because in his capacity of the remover of obstacles, of the one who strengthens us to handle and withstand challenges so that we can present ourselves for puja, we give cognizance to Bhagwan Ganesh. So we are ready for puja, 16 offerings. Part will begin this week, the first offering. The first offering is twofold. There is dhyan and there is avahan. Dhyan is when we contemplate, we focus on the deity that we are going to worship, or deities as the case may be. So it will entail rather the recitation of a mantra. If one is being guided, most time one's Pandit may recite his stuti or stotra, as the case may be at this juncture. So we'll be holding the relevant color flower of the deity in our hands. And there has been established, and we'll reference in a while where, that there are 4 benefits that emanate from dhyan, from contemplation. One source says that that dhyan could be maximized in 144 seconds, 2 minutes, 24 seconds. If one contemplates on a deity, we get these effects. And they are: the blood pressure drops, the heart rate slows, all beneficial, oxygen consumption decreases, all beneficial. But one thing increases, all these decrease, but the last one increases, alpha waves. What are alpha waves? Alpha waves are the brain waves. So just by the performance of dhyan, we have now embarked on puja, half of the first offering of puja, and look what happens. Look at the benefits. And this is, internet is unedited information, so the Vidyalaya hardly references the internet. These are hardcore references we are talking about. This particular reference was endorsed in an experiment years back, probably a score years back, by Harvard University. They endorsed that. Then we come to the second part, avahan, where we actually reverently, ceremoniously call the deity to within that murti or picture. So this links with when we are speaking in the beginning about Hindus are not pagans. The murti and picture is for focus, but more than that, the mantra says, Om Agacha Bhagavan Deva Sthane Chhatre Sthirova. The Puranic mantra for avahan says that Bhagwan, that mantra declares that you are mandated to, by the recitation, come and occupy and let your presence be there in that murti or picture as this mantra is ucharan, as this mantra is recited. So the murti and picture, there's this added dimension in Sanatana Dharma that God is mandated to be there. And then at the end, we take leave of him by performing Nirajan for that hour, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, however long puja takes. We honor him and then we bid him a fond farewell to greet him again at a later point, maybe the day or maybe next day as the case may be. So all in context, and at this point in time, a palm leaf is placed on the altar, the water and akshad is sprinkled, and the mantra is recited where we say God is mandated to be there to receive our worship. We come to the second offering now, asan, offering a seat to Bhagwan. So on that very palm leaf, which we have asked him to come and take his position, we put a piece of kush grass and we sprinkle water, and with the ring finger, we cleanse that seed, that piece of kush grass, and touch to our forehead as we make preparation to welcome Bhagwan to stand there. And now he is brought there. Sometimes you might see inadvertently or probably without much second thought that the murti is there on the Vedika, on the altar, long before even asan is done. So it's always advisable have the murti or picture maybe in a thali or some nice spot close by, so that when asan is performed, when we have prepared the seat, we touch that murti picture to our foreheads and then place him on the relevant position. And what's the best seat to offer to God? The best seat is one that is offered with intense love. So we put the kush grass, but always remember it's puja. The spirit of puja has to be remembered while puja is being performed. And that spirit of puja is epitomized by among the devotees of Bhagwan in Ramayana by Sevri, who we sometimes will say Shabri. And remember that when Shri Ramchandra paid a visit to her ashram, she accorded him a most hospitable welcome. And we extract from Aranyakand Ramayana we zoom in on the exact maneuvers and mannerisms as Sevri did her puja to the Lord. Sadar Jalle Charan Pakhari. So she washed his feet, and the dimension of it was when she got water to wash his feet, it was the second time she was washing his feet. Because the first occasion when she washed his feet, which was minutes before, it was washed with the tears of eyes. The there it is, she had God in front of her. A situation or position which great sages and saints hanker after, she had it. A simple woman, a simple female, with no connections and so-called ranks, wealth, etc. She had the visit and darshan and sight of God before her. That filled her with emotion. And so the tears from her eyes literally washed his feet. Then she made preparation to wash his feet. So we too, as we sit in puja, as we offer the seat to Lakshmi, to Ganesh, to whoever, we too must be filled with that type of emotion. Probably it might not, tears might not necessarily come to the eyes, but that emotion must well up in the mind to lay the Mary, to lay the platform where we continue to perform our puja. So, Punisundar asan baitare. So she washed his feet, and asan, she put him on a seat. What seat? Sevri didn't have any couch, soft, nice couch and luxurious couch to put Sri Ramchandra. She was in dense forest. It was a rock she put him to sit on. Yet Tulsidas, she says, Sundar asan. When Sri Ram got that seat, with the love with which it was offered, he forgot all about the hardness of the rock and so forth. It was a seat that he equated mentally to the very throne of Ayodhya, which he would have sat and noticed while he was there. So in offering all these offerings, starting from the seat, this has to be the emotional take of the performer of puja. So we move now to the third offering, Padyam, which is the washing of the feet of the deity. So into one's left hand, water will be placed And with the ring finger, we dip and we wash the feet of Bhagwan and touch to our forehead. And the accompanying mantras are so explicit that to tell us the potential or the potential benefits of that act. For instance, if we are doing a Devi worship, Saraswati Mata, Lakshmi Mata, Durga Mata, and we wash the feet, the mantra says, Om Gangadi Sarvati Tebyo Maya Prarthanaya Hitam. That if I had the wherewithal, O Devi, I would have gone and collected water from the holy pilgrimages of the divine river like Ganga, Saraswati, Yamuna, and come here today to wash your feet. Suffice it to say that which is within my easy reach, I have so done, but my intention was much bigger than that. That mantra says that. So as we wash the feet of Devi, we must understand that this should have been the take if it were ever possible to do. So we are performing puja and our mind is at a different level. As we say, the mantra lends voltage to the act. So this is the third offering. We come to the fourth offering, Arghya. Arghya is where we offer water to the deities, where the deities wash their hands. It will be the case of water, supari. Supari will have its, remember washing hands as we will use soap. Supari has its antibacterial properties, so it serves that purpose. Chandan for fragrance and flower. I mean, the finesse of it, we offer a bouquet to Bhagwan as water is given to wash his hand, or if it's a Devi, her hand. The mantra says, Om Raupya Patristitam Toyam. Raupya means silver. Some of the lotas that we would use, we know the aluminum type with that silver look to it. It looks sparkling clean as opposed to the conventional brass lota. So the mantra says it's all in order. Raupya Patristitam Toyam, to use such a lota with these constituents, and we offer arghya to the devata to wash their hands. Now, arghya is a practice many Hindus perform on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, where we say we got up and we offer water to the sun or to whoever, right? That is arghya we are doing. So probably not probably, but it will serve well to, in that water, add in a single supari, sprinkle a little chandan in that very lota, and offer, well, the flower I think most times is there. And then that does well for fitting the offering. And then a point to note, arghya, when we are doing it on a daily basis or weekly basis, remember, is water to wash hands. The deities, Brahm Muhurt, before dawn, roughly 4 to 6, that is when they would arise, as it were, or make preparations, as it were, to do their daily ablutions and so forth. So the ideal time will be before dawn. But we understand that sometimes it may not be as easy as that, but no one wants to dampen the intention if one is currently in the practice of performing arghya, even if it's after dawn, even if we have not had these accompaniments in the arghya, but it's a goal to work towards. We come on the fifth offering, and the fifth offering is Achmaniyam, where we offer water for the deity to sip, to quench their thirst. Remember, they have graced us on the altar. So just as we would offer, puja is in sync with the practices of how we will receive an honored guest. So we offer them something refreshing as water to drink. When we are performing this act, it's not just sprinkled all about, it's sprinkled on the hands of the deity. And the accompanying mantra is so very nice. In the case of devatas, I quote, Om Sarvatirtha Samayutam Sugandhim Nilbalam Jalam. Like in the case of washing the feet of the Devis, here this mantra says, I would have, God, if I had the opportunity, I would have gone to select spots and collect the purest of water and brought for you here today to drink. So this is the fifth offering. We will be continuing in our next program the further leading up to the 16 steps or 16 offerings of worship. But we ask at this juncture, why perform puja? We go to Ramayana, Balkan. Ram Bhakti Jaha Sursari Dhara, Saraswati Brahma Vichar Prachara, Vidhi Nishedamaya, Kalimala Harini, Karma Katha, Ravinandani, Varani. This body, the Chaupai says that this body is a Prayag. The holiest of spots is Prayag, where there is the confluence of the three divine rivers, the Ganga, the Saraswati, and the Jamuna. This body is that very Prayag. Rama Bhakti, the Ganga is Surasari Dhara. The Ganga in this body is devotion to God. Love for God without an agenda. It's a close explanation of Bhakti. Unconditional love might be another take on Bhakti. Suffice it to say at this point in time, that is the type of love we are talking about. When that kindles in a human being, then the Ganga is really flowing. The Saraswati in this body is contemplation on the absolute, on divinity. How, not only how we look to divinity, how divinity reaches us and our ability to recognize divinity. And then when that happens, when that type of awareness happens, then that is a Saraswati. Too often we get caught in Maya and we are more concerned about things of the world and people of the world. Yes, we live here, we have to interact with people and things of the world. But there is something deeper, and that is the Saraswati. When we look for the cause of everything. And the Jamuna. The Jamuna, performance of puja, which helps one to hurl, this is it. Vidhi Nishedamaya. When this Yamuna will flow in this body, when we get involved karma katha, when we get involved in actions like puja, which Vidhi Nishedamaya, which helps us to distinguish what ought to be done and what ought not to be done. Because prayer and puja always has to translate itself in life. So just as we understand what we have to offer in puja and why we offer, so too in life we ought to let that transcend the act of puja and make the correct choices in life, what we should be aligned with and what we have to sidestep. And this is the karma, this is the action which comes from puja. And then we can truly say, Ravi Nandani, Yamuna was the daughter, Nandani's daughter, Ravi is the son, she is the son of Surjanarayan, she's the daughter of the sun, hence she is known as Yamuna, and that is when the Yamuna flows. So this Prayag, when these three, we allow them to flow in the human being. Puja, a pivotal part of the Prayag, when we allow that to happen and take place in life, then really and truly we have realized the full potential of this body. Once again, we thank you for joining us on SWA DHARMA. By God's grace, we meet and greet. Have a safe, productive, protected week. Sitaram.